Okay, so I get a lot of questions about trowels. What trowel size should I wear? Should I use? Now, as you can see, I got a variety of trowels here, from the very small notch. This is actually a curly trowel. This is a V-notch trowel. That's a Dietrich trowel, 1/4 inch by 1/4 inch, 3/8 by 1/4 inch deep by 1/4 inch by 3/8 inch deep, and a 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch. And these are all square notch trowels. There are U-notch trowels, there are Euro trowels, there are other kinds of trowels as well. But I'm just going to go over the basics here. So the smaller the tile, the smaller, in general, the smaller the tile, the smaller the notch size you can use. But that's not always the case, because you have to see the back of the tile, whether it's cupped or whether it's got a pattern on the back that needs to be filled, etc., etc. But in general, the smaller the tile, the smaller the notch size can be. So these are just some of the trowels I have. I have a bunch of other ones in the truck, all different sizes, some that are worn out, some that aren't worn out, some that are new, and I just keep them because it gives me a variety of trowels to choose from, so I get the perfect notch size for the tile I'm installing. Now, the reason why you need the correct trowel size for the tile you're installing is because you need to get a certain amount of coverage of thin set on the back of the tile. If your trowel is too small, you're not going to achieve that coverage. The minimum coverage is 80 to 85%. Desirable coverage is 100%. In other words, you don't want any air pockets or voids on the back of the tile when you set the tile into the thin set. You want to get as much transfer of the thin set to the tile as possible. And to help with this, back buttering is a thing you can do, but I'm not going into that here. So you use the size trowel that is adequate to get the correct coverage transfer of thin set to the back of the tile. So I've got a variety of tile sizes here. The tile I'm installing on this job is a 12 by 12. But I cut it down to a small tile, which would mimic, say, a porcelain tile, then a slightly larger tile, and then a 12 by 12. And then tiles can get bigger and bigger and bigger. These days, the more common tiles are the large format tiles. But I just want to demonstrate a point here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to thread some thin set here. So I'm using the V-notch trowel here, small V-notch, and I'm going to then I got the tile here. This is a small tile. I'm going to set into this thin set. When I pick it up, see there's very good coverage on the back, 100%. If I do the same with the larger tile, find there's a lot of gaps and not very good coverage. So I would have to move up to a larger trowel, say a Dietrich trowel. So I clean the back of the tile. Pick it up. You see the coverage is a little better. So what that means is I have to even step up to a larger trowel. 1/4 inch. Now I'm going to clean the back of this just so I can demonstrate. So I cleaned it up and I stepped up to a 1/4 inch. And I put this in, give it a wiggle. see the coverage is much better. Now I'm going to do the same for the 12 by 12. This is still the 1/4 inch trowel. And I put the 12 by 12 on it. Actually, I didn't even split enough there. By 12. Pull it up. A lot of voids on the back of the towel. Whereas the same towel but cut down smaller, it was actually good. So now I'm going to step up to 1/4 by 3/8. Another clean towel, top trowel, tile. Pick this up. And see in the back, it's complete coverage. So even between those tiles, it just goes to show what size trowel. The bigger the tile, the bigger the trowel you need. Of course, there are limits to that because tiles can get very big, but for example, for a 12 by 24, which would be this size tile this way, but like this, I would use a 1/2 inch square notch trowel. So that's just the basics of how to select a trowel. You need to use the correct trowel to get good coverage on the back of the tile.